in the Preakness. And California Chrome had a great start. He comes out of the gate very quickly, and Pablo Del Monte's the fastest one. He's going to take the lead, and Victor Espinosa is getting California Chrome to the outside of him early. So Social Inclusion's not in front. There goes the filly Ria Antonia. Social Inclusion is in fourth early on. General A-Rod is in fifth, down toward the inside, then Dynamic Impact, Ring Weekend, Byron and Rosie Napravnik outside of horses. Ride On Curlin is second last, and Kid Cruz trails. And the opening quarter mile was 23 and 2/5 seconds, and it is Pablo Del Monte the leader. Ria Antonia and Calvin Burrell alongside in second. No excuses here for California Chrome. He's in a perfect spot. He's third onto the backstretch outside of General A-Rod, and Social Inclusion is back running in fifth. And then comes Dynamic Impact, Byron to the outside, and Ring Weekend along the rail. Ride On Curlin is about 9 lengths off the lead right now. Kid Cruz far off the pace. A 46 and 4/2 mile for Pablo Del Monte, a long shot, who leads the Preakness field into the far turn. Ria Antonia, the filly, is second, and California Chrome moves now to the outside. Now he takes second, and Social Inclusion goes with him. He's caught 3 wide. California Chrome right to the outside of Pablo Del Monte, and Social Inclusion runs up on the outside of California Chrome. And now the two of them are heads apart as they come toward the top of the stretch. California Chrome, Social Inclusion on the outside. Pablo Del Monte, Ride On Curlin is closing on the far outside. California Chrome comes into the final furlong with a 2-length lead. Ride On Curlin on the outside is trying to catch him. California Chrome reaching for the wire. Another 16th on the outside. Ride On Curlin can't get him. California Chrome has won the Preakness. California Chrome did it. He beat Ride On Curlin, and then it was General A-Rod and Social Inclusion, and that elusive prize, the Triple Crown, awaits California Chrome in the Belmont Stakes.
The dream continues. The Triple Crown dream is still alive. And we saw that burst once again from California Chrome. And then it would look like Ride On Curlin might be able to gain some ground. And there, the tearful owners and the trainer Art Sherman, as California Chrome has done it again. The 34th horse to win the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. And of course, only 11 went on to take the Triple Crown.
Just as he did in the Kentucky Derby, Victor Espinosa was able to get California Chrome out of the gate in a good shot, which set up the rest of the race.
Steve Coburn had a dream that this horse with the 4 white feet and the white blaze that they named California Chrome for his flashiness would be a great horse. He dreamed he would win the Derby. He's been saying he was going to win the Triple Crown. What a dream he had. He and his partner laid out the roadmap for taking the Triple Crown, and they've gotten 2/3 of the way home. What a story. This horse has made, as we said, America's horse. Steve Coburn called him, and as Steve has said, the Chromies now are legion throughout the country.
He got his trip again, and once again, he made his own luck. Sharp break from the starting gate. Victor Espinosa actually nudged Social Inclusion out of the way a couple of times to make sure he got clear sailing on the outside, and that's what California Chrome
He was wiggling quite a bit still, but when the gates opened, he was looking down the track, and his jockey Victor Espinosa right here already moves out a couple paths. Yeah. He's setting the table right now for the lead horse, who is Pablo Del Monte, to cross over, and boom, now he's already in the clear. Victor Espinosa would have a big smile on his face as they go by the stands the first time, because he's in the perfect position. Now he looks out and sees a filly unexpectedly going out to challenge. Even more good news for California Chrome, because somebody else is challenging the lead horse.
Now, a lot more competition in the than in the Kentucky Derby for California Chrome at the top of the stretch. A very talented horse in Social Inclusion outside of him, and as soon as he turned loose of Social Inclusion, here comes Ride On Curlin running the race of his life. People criticize the Derby time, not the Preakness time. 1:54 and 4/5 seconds. A very good time for California Chrome over the surface.
The co-fastest time since Curlin in 2007, the same as Big Brown. California Chrome has done it again. And another flawless ride by Victor Espinosa. Steve Coburn, the co-owner, with Perry Martin and Art Sherman, the 77-year-old trainer who was making his first trip ever in a long career in horse racing to Pimlico. And Jose Espinoza, the jockey who was terribly injured, who came to Pimlico to see his brother ride again, and again celebrates a victory.
That's awesome.
All right, let's go to Donna.
With Victor Espinoza, you get your second Preakness win, your second time to be on your way to a possible Triple Crown. What kind of feeling is this?
It is an awesome feeling to be able to have a horse like California Chrome. You know, today it was just a crazy race, but I was telling you, I got more tired mentally than physically riding him, but it worked out well, and he's just an amazing horse.
You said you got more tired mentally than physical riding, and we heard Jerry Bailey talking about you really had to keep positioning him because of social inclusion, trying to sort of jockey for position with you.
Yeah, it was. You know, I once out of that running, and then I see another horse go to the front, so I said, well, I'm going to sit right behind him. I was going to sit like second, and next time I know I see another one and move too early, so I had to just like different, you know, I had to use my brains too much at that point. But I sit back, and as soon as the other horse got clear of me, it worked out perfect. I had to just track them, and you know, no, the other horse, he moved a little bit early, the outside horse, the A horse. He moved in a half mile, and I thought it was a little bit too soon. But you know what? I had to go in that point. I had just go with steady with him, you know, because, you know, it's still a long ways to go.
Victor, your brother Jose Espinoza was there for your Kentucky Derby win. He was here for this one. We caught his reaction. He was pretty celebratory. Is he kind of becoming your good luck charm on the Triple Crown Trail?
I think so. I mean, I'm very, like, you know, pleased and lucky to, you know, have his support and then come here to, like, every time I ride a Kentucky Derby now in the Preakness. So I think it's my lucky charm. And now he lives in Belmore, and I'm sure he'll be there.
Final question. How's he going to handle a mile and a half in 3 weeks?
I hope okay. I mean, you never know until he runs, but it seems like it's going to be all right. So, you know, a little bit more time, he's going to get back his energy and, you know, hopefully for the best. And you know what? We get it done.
Congratulations. Enjoy this win. Let's go to Bob Newmeyer.
How do these words sound to you, Art Sherman? A chance for the Triple Crown.
Wow. I'll tell you, it's quite a thrill. You know, it's, I know he had to run harder this race for me. Just watching him perform, you know, coming back in 2 weeks, I was a little concerned. But I'll tell you one thing, he's a real racehorse, and I'm hoping that the mile and a half is up his alley, too, because he's a very good horse.
I'm peering behind the sunglasses, but I see a tear in your eye, Art Sherman.
Oh, you got to have a tear. I got my whole family here. We worked hard all year, and Victor rode him perfect. You know, it's a dream for any trainer to do this, believe me.
As you watched the race unfold, you saw a great start from Victor and Chrome. That's what you were concerned about. That's what you told us coming over. When you were when you looked out in the turn and, you know, horses started to come around, you were concerned at all?
Well, I couldn't tell how much horse he really had. You know, it was hard for me to get that good view that I usually have. Everybody was cheering and jumping up and down in front of me. So, but when I looked up on the board and I seen he started to move away, I felt really good then. Yeah.
Well, I know the old song, California, Here We Come, and now it's New York, Here We Come. Congratulations.
New York, here we come.
All right, Tom Hammond.
All right, Bob Newmeyer is California Chrome and Victor Espinoza with a victory lap. For Victor, a long way from that bucking donkey back home in Mexico. There are the payouts. $3 on California Chrome. Ride On Curlin was second. Social Inclusion was third. California Chrome went down to 1-2 at the last minute. The Exacta paid $18.20. The Dollar Try 38, and the Dollar Superfecta at 173. The 71st winning favorite to take the Preakness Stakes. So California Chrome, the favorite, came in capturing the imagination of everyone that follows horse racing or that does not normally. Now they will. California Chrome is the Preakness Stakes champion. Steve Coburn with a wave of the Stetson to the crowd. His lucky outfit came through again. Jose Espinoza saw his brother win the second jewel of the Triple Crown. And brother Victor with thoughts for his next gather in the winner's circle after California Chrome's victory in the Preakness Stakes. Well, as we replay, let's go back to what you said was the crucial part of the race for him, and that was the start.
A potential for a bad start, but it was a great start for California Chrome. Just like in the Kentucky Derby, he breaks really well, and Victor immediately, his jockey Victor Espinosa, immediately moves him out a couple of paths so that he's in the clear when the speed does materialize and crosses over in front.
Meanwhile, Social Inclusion from post position number 8, everyone expected him to go to the lead. There was nothing wrong with his start. He was just outrun early by California Chrome and, of course, on the outside, Pablo Del Monte.
Now, Victor Espinosa mentioned he was mentally tired in this race, and he's having to recalculate. This is not the horse Pablo Del Monte that's supposed to be in front. That's not what we think, and certainly Rita Antonio's not supposed to be up there. So Victor's thinking, wait a minute, not the same horses, but I'm still going to ease back and let them do the dirty work up front and get my clear, perfect trip as they drift over in front. Victor kind of moves out a half a path, and wham, he's right where he wants to be.
Now, the half-mile pole, though, this didn't go according to script, because here comes Social Inclusion on the outside, forcing Victor Espinosa's hand to move earlier than he wanted to move.
And at this point, as a rider, you never give up your position. It's way too late in the race to let somebody go by you at this point, so he merely asked California Chrome a little early. Now, in the Derby, Victor moved when he wanted to. Today, he was forced to move by the early move of Social Inclusion.
And when they get to the top of the stretch, now Social Inclusion obviously moved early too. You knew California Chrome had Social Inclusion. There you see him starting to open up. The question is whether someone else from the back of the pack could capitalize on that early move, and Ride On Curlin was the horse who tried.
The mark of a really good horse is fending off several challenges and still having enough left, and certainly he did that today.
There is California Chrome and the reaction of Victor Espinosa. They have done it. They have taken the first 2 legs of the Triple Crown. That's the scene in the winner's circle, and we'll be going down there when we come back. But California Chrome, the Preakness tradition, the painting of the colors of the winning owners onto the weather vane atop the cupola. It'll be green, purple, and a donkey that'll be up there for the next finish, with California Chrome the winner by a length and a half. Ride On Curlin second, Social Inclusion third. You see the rest of the finishers all the way down to the filly Rhea Antonio, who finished last, as California Chrome goes over $3.4 million in earnings. Let's go to the winner's circle and Bob Costas.
All right, Tom, they're all here. Miss Preakness, Frank Stronach, head of the Stronach Group, major figure in Maryland racing. The governor of the state of Maryland, Martin O'Malley, his 11-year-old son, Jack, is along for the ride. Stephanie Rawlings Blake is the mayor of the city of Baltimore, and Governor O'Malley will make the presentation of the trophy that represents the Woodlawn Vase to the winning owner, Steve Coburn. Governor O'Malley.
Hey, Steve, on behalf of the people of Maryland, in the company of Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake, the mayor of Baltimore, it is my great honor to present to you the most coveted trophy in all of sport, the Woodlawn Vase. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. And I understand you're kind of like got an Irish name. So do I. So on behalf of me and my partner, Perry Martin, that's not here with us today because of, you know, his business, I just want to thank the people of Maryland for all the hospitality they've shown us. And Churchill, you need to take a lesson on this. You really, really do. Because these people have been absolutely fabulous. And on behalf of our military and the partnership of Dumbass Partners, DAP Racing, I say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Raul, thank you, our groom. Raul, thank you so much, Raul, for being who you are and being in this game with us. This man, he sleeps with this horse every night. His wife's a little upset, but he don't care. But he sleeps with this horse every night. Thank you, people. I don't know what else to say, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Steve, congratulations. And 3 weeks from now, we'll see you and all your connections and California Chrome at the Belmont. All right, I'll bet you will. Over to Josh Elliott.
Bob, 2 more members of this singular team. First, Art Sherman. You called this horse a push-button horse, and it looks like that's exactly what Victor did heading into that final turn. What did you think of the ride?
I thought he rode him perfect, had him in a perfect position. I kind of couldn't get a chance to see all the race, but I bet you I'll be watching the video. I can't tell you how proud I am of the horse. and Victor, they rode a perfect race. You know, I just applaud them myself. Thank you.
You were concerned about the 2-week turnaround for California Chrome. Those concerns proved unnecessary with the extra week then before the Belmont. How confident are you?
Well, after watching him run today, I think he really can go 1.5 miles. He's a horse that will rate, and when you got a speed horse that will rate, they are always dangerous.
All right, Art. Meanwhile, Victor Espinoza, you were here 12 years ago, and you said in the lead up to this race, you wanted to make sure you had more fun than perhaps you did on War Emblem. How much fun was this race today?
That was a lot of fun. It was not easy for me. It was a little bit challenged, but, you know, I got it done. California Chrome and I, we got it done today.
Coming into that final turn, did you know you had that much horse left?
Yeah, definitely. It was a little complicated in the beginning and the race. You know, it was just second, third, and you know, there's another horses that want to take the lead and want to take my position. But after in the backside, I got it done, like riding behind, tracking the leader, and it just, you know, the other horse he moved a little bit early in the half a mile, and I was worried about it because it's still a long ways to go for California Chrome. But you know what, he was good enough today, and we got it done.
You told Art 2 weeks ago this is when the real pressure started. I can only imagine what this is now on our way.
Seconds, and it is Pablo Del Monte, the leader. Ria Antonia and Calvin Burrell alongside in second. No excuses here for California Chrome. He's in a perfect spot. He's third onto the backstretch outside of General A-Rod, and Social Inclusion is back running in fifth. And then comes Dynamic Impact, Byron to the outside, and Ring Weekend along the rail. Ride On Curlin is about 9 lengths off the lead right now. Kid Cruz far off the pace. A 46 4.5 mile for Pablo Del Monte, a long shot, who leads the Preakness field into the far turn. Ria Antonia, the filly, is second, and California Chrome reaching for the wire. Another 16th on the outside. Ride On Curlin can't get him. California Chrome has won the Preakness. California Chrome did it. He beat Ride On Curlin, and then it was General A-Rod and Social Inclusion, and that elusive prize, the Triple Crown, awaits California Chrome in the Belmont Stakes.
The dream continues. The Triple Crown dream is still alive. And we saw that burst once again from California Chrome, and then it would look like Ride On Curlin might be able to gain some ground. And then
they're off in the Preakness. And California Chrome had a great start. He comes out of the gate very quickly, and Pablo Del Monte's the fastest one. He's going to take the lead, and Victor Espinoza is getting California Chrome to the outside of him early. So Social Inclusion's not in front. There goes the filly Ria Antonia. Social Inclusion is in fourth early on. General A-Rod is in fifth down toward the inside, then Dynamic Impact, Ring Weekend, Byron and Rosie Napravnik outside of horses. Ride On Curlin is second last, and Kid Cruz trails. And the opening quarter mile was 23 2/5.
The tearful owners and the trainer Art Sherman, as California Chrome has done it again. The 34th horse to win the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness, and of course only 11 went on to take the Triple Crown.
Just as he did in the Kentucky Derby, Victor Espinoza was able to get California Chrome out of the gate in a good shot, which set up the rest of the race.
Steve Coburn had a dream that this horse with the full white feet and the white blaze that they named California Chrome for his flashiness would be a great horse. He dreamed he would win the Derby.
Moves now to the outside. Now he takes second, and Social Inclusion goes with him. He's caught 3 wide. California Chrome right to the outside of Pablo Del Monte, and Social Inclusion runs up on the outside of California Chrome. And now the two of them are heads apart as they come toward the top of the stretch. California Chrome, Social Inclusion on the outside. Pablo Del Monte, Ride On Curlin is closing on the far outside. California Chrome comes into the final furlong with a 2-length lead. Ride On Curlin on the outside is trying to catch him. California Chrome